What's up, jerks? You're probably not jerks. I don't think many of you are jerks if you're watching this. We probably get along all right. That's an intro from Jason Mantzoukas. How did this get made? I would suggest listening to it if you are not familiar. Anyway, what's up, jerks? It's Jeff. This is another kind of vlog thing, I guess. I hesitate to call it that, but it's sort of just a random assemblage of stuff that I didn't really think warranted its own video yet. So I got some gear. I got some random things to talk about. But yeah, so first off, cheers. This is a good beer. I hope you enjoy beer. If you do, check this one out. This is Out of Office, a hoppy Pilsner by 10 Barrel. I'm a bit of a beer nerd, and I have my feelings about Anheuser-Busch. They own these guys. They really still make good beer, which bums me out a little bit, but it's also nice because that means it's available and it's great. So, off my political or whatever high horse. All right, a couple things semi-related to beer, I guess hydration. So yeah, I got some new gear in the last month or so. I figured it's worth talking about here. So I think I already kind of showed something about this. This is the Nathan Vapor Air pack that I had seen reviewed many other places. I think Ethan Newberry from Ginger Runner did a quick talk on it. Riz Nose did one where he was talking about a few different ones. This was his pick. Ethan, I think, likes the, it's a Solomon pack, the something 5. But after putting, probably, I don't know, 55, 60 miles on this thing, I kind of understand why. It's not a bad pack by any means, but one of the things he said is there's so many things on it, and I totally agree. There's straps and whatnot everywhere. A lot of the stuff that he likes is more kind of a vest, and I can appreciate that. That said, very good pack. Getting used to the bladder, it sits pretty well, and it sits even better if you kind of pack it a little more, like with a rain jacket or other clothes or whatnot. But the other thing that that I picked up, and it's more for kind of a one-shot thing, is I got an Ultimate Direction kind of a soft flask, and I'd never used these before this guy, and I like this one. It is kind of weird when it's full. It fits, or it feels more like a big squishy bug because it's just kind of floppy and full of liquid. But in terms of getting what you need on the run, awesome. Yeah, it does flop a little bit. That's the other thing I'm not super fond. I haven't been able to tighten that one perfectly yet to fit me, but I'm getting closer. So this usually sits in my front right pocket and is usually full of tailwind. Now I'm guessing that if you're an endurance runner or an endurance athlete at all, you know this. You're already familiar. This particular one is the caffeinated raspberry buzz. So they're great because you can do it all with liquid. You can really just this can be everything you need if you want to. I mixed this with whatever volume this thing is. I think this is a 500 ml, so 17 ounces of water-ish. And yeah, this thing it's gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, soy-free, everything. And it's about 200 calories. This one has caffeine. They do make them without them. But they give you energy, they give you electrolytes, and they work pretty well. I think I typically do one of these on a longer run and then some other things. The other thing that I've been mixing into the, nutrition mix, and I love, is Trader Joe's knockoff Swedish fish, the Scandinavian swimmers. These are so good. They taste amazing. 9 of them is 160 calories, which is, good for roughly half an hour, 45 minutes, and they pack pretty well. You can use, obviously you're not going to take this, but a Ziploc full or something like that, you can get a few servings, and they just taste so much better than most gels. They don't have much in terms of electrolytes, a little bit of sodium in there. I mean, it's mostly just sugar, but they're not bad, and there's more like real food than a gel or a block of some sort. So let's see. I picked up a flip belt. I did a little review on that. I kind of like it, so I'd suggest checking that one out if you want. I've been wearing it almost always when I run, aside from longer runs, which I usually just throw the phone in the side pocket of the pack. But other than that, it's awesome, and it's gotten hundreds of miles already. Not hundreds, but maybe 80 miles already. So what else do I got? I got a pair of Gooders, finally. I'm a cheapskate. I don't like buying new stuff. These are not expensive sunglasses. These are the BFGs. They're $35, and they gave me a good chance to talk to somebody nice over at the local run shop. But might do a different review on these. In short, they're pretty rad. They have silicone here, and that just allows them to stay put, which is one thing I didn't realize I was missing on running glasses. So when you start fogging up your glasses because it's hot and you got a hat on or it's warmer out or something, you can push them down your nose and they stay there, which is awesome. So I've been enjoying those. I have not yet gotten to use these, my Yak Tracks runs that I got for Christmas, because it just hasn't been cold enough. I mean, we got snow a little bit, but it's been freezing occasionally down in the valley, but I don't think there's been snow on the trails in the better part of a month. So it typically gets too soft by about 10, so I haven't been able to run trails much. Luckily at work, where I usually run during the week, I was able to find kind of a path that I kind of mapped out this week that it's about 5 miles round trip from work, and probably 4.25 to 4.5 of that is on some sort of soft pack, not asphalt or concrete, which is great. That's been a welcome respite from the basically just running roads, and populated roads at that. I get sick of running with just traffic right next to me all the time, so that's been great. That's it for the stuff, I think. So the other thing that I wanted to just do a brief kind of mini review on is some of the books and whatnot I've been listening to. I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I run, and I think, what are we, almost the end of January, and I'm going to be pushing 130, 140 miles this month, so I've put some time in. This has been over the last couple months, but a few books that I think people might enjoy that listen or that are watching this. I listened to How Bad Do You Want It by Matt Fitzgerald. If you're not familiar with him, he's large in the triathlon community. He has a few other ones, but definitely he just released recently 80-20 Triathlon, which is a good kind of training book. Kind of expelling the virtues of, or extolling the virtues of the 80-20 training method, 80% low intensity, 20% medium high. And I understand, and I try to, follow those guidelines as much as possible. But anyway, this book, How Bad Do You Want It, is a lot of stuff about basically just grit and endurance athletes, and kind of, developing it, and a lot of good stories. And I don't know if you're like me on long runs. I tend to, I just get a little emotional sometimes. So I've been out on, 2.5, 3 hour runs, and some of these stories, they'll get me tearing up at the end because they're fun and they're good, and they're great to listen to. So that's one that I really liked. I listened to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep, which I believe I mentioned in the Christmas gift one. That's an okay book. Some of the philosophies I like, some I don't. But on the whole, not a bad message. Kind of on the flip side of that, actually, I just finished today, Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. And that is an interesting kind of, sort of, I guess, self-helpish book. Really just a kind of a, do better with your life book. And it's got a lot of things that are different from a lot of other books. One thing is, like, he's totally fine with you partaking in a little marijuana if it's legal for you. I mean, I guess that's up to you if you consider it legal or whatnot. But he kind of, has a little advice on how to implement that in your day better. But it's got some stuff that's that I've put into practice, or I already had been without even realizing it. Some that's a little extreme, like using like nicotine and stuff as occasional productivity enhancers, and some crazy like cold shower stuff that I do a little bit of cold shower in the morning, not quite as nuts as he does, but it's worth a listen or a read. He's a funny guy. It has some really fun parts. He doesn't take himself too seriously either. He's the founder of On It, if you don't know, and they got some interesting stuff. I mean, he's more of a I guess muscle kind of guy than aerobic endurance, but worth a listen. What else have I done? I did Eat and Run by Scott Jurek. I'm guessing a lot of folks that would be interested in this video have already heard or read that. Great book. I found it kind of fizzled at the end, which does seem to sort of happen with some of these running books. I kind of felt the same about Born to Run. I really like the book on the whole. At the end, it's kind of just like, it just kind of trails off a little, but such it is. And then Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and that's a fun one. That's a really quick listen. It is very engaging. It's good stories and good. I like the kind of scientific approach behind it. So I think that's gonna wrap it for this one. I just wanted to get this out there. I might do some, like I said, a little more in-depth videos. I hope I have a chance to use those Yak Tracks. I might look at those sunglasses a little better. I mean, who really needs? There's probably a lot of gooder sunglass review videos already out there. Do we need another one? No, but why not? But yeah, on the whole, everything I showed you, I think I can recommend. One more, just little quickie here. If you were a gentleman, I guess this is probably good for the ladies too, but long run, this is a lifesaver. This is a recent pickup after an unfortunate 17-miler. So enough said. Anyway, that will wrap for this video. Keep running. Hopefully the weather in your part of the country is good, and your part of the world is good, and we'll talk soon.